There's a reason why we always think about vacations, going to these wonderful islands and going to beautiful places. There's a reason why we feel so connected to the universe. Because they didn't want us to know how connected we actually are. They don't tell you that you're a star, that you are formed from stardust. If you're from the United States, on your birth certificate, it says what state you're from. But that's not where you're indigenous to. For example, if you're like me, you're from South Carolina, Charleston. Well, most of those slaves that were imported there, they were from here. The West Indies, located in the Caribbeans. This is called the archipelago. That means a cluster of 10 islands. You see, we fantasize about these islands. We fantasize, we feel so in tune with what goes on out of space because these are the spaces that we are from. You see, how do you think this settled here like this? All of this is from outer space and it settles in our waters. And my brothers and sisters, you are 7 octillion atoms. And every last one of those 7 octillion atoms come from stardust. All of the minerals that we sought for the benefit of our health, it comes from outer space, stardust. So the things that we have this gravitation, we have this pull, this force that we're always thinking about outer space and the universe and how the universe is connecting and the universe this and the universe that without having the proper science and knowledge. You know what's way more advanced than technology? Quantum physics, because there is no technology without the study of quantum physics. It's what happens when you have this amount of protons and this amount of neutrons and this amount of electrons and this amount of nitrogen atoms and all of these different, what happens when you mix this? This is called chemistry. And it's a fact that amazing things happen depending on the chemistry. I told you a catalytic converter is a catalyst where it houses these precious metals that don't move at all. And just because the poisonous gas from combustion comes into contact with these precious metals, it creates a reaction, a positive reaction, because it reduces the toxic levels of the CO, the carbon monoxide. When you get excited, my brothers and sisters, you create energy and the exhaust comes out of your mouth. That's why you pay a carbon tax. You generate carbon monoxide. But carbon monoxide is what happens with improper combustion. So if you're not healthy, you're breathing out toxic fumes, air, gas, what have you. And they charge you for that. Whether it's you or not, that's breathing out the toxic CO because of your intake causing improper combustion, meaning your body is not breaking down what you're taking in. When you're in a car, that's why it smells like gas the same way a human being. People are like, did somebody pass gas in the car? And it's the car's catalytic converter. It's not converting. You are not from a state. They're creating a state of mind. You are not from a state. History is not far away. All you gotta do is just a little bit of digging, I promise. You don't gotta dig too deep. Look up, research, where did the slave, because we don't know. We're participating in the United States. But we don't understand the United States. We're just participating in it. We're functioning in it. We're living in it. We're not alive. We're living in it. We don't understand the environment. You live in New Jersey. You don't know why you love the New Jersey Devils. You don't know that there are 5 devil statues there. You don't know that that's a myth. Not a myth, but a legend, folklore legend that goes back 250 years, that they want to stay alive. That's why they incorporated the name into a team. But going back into the reason why we are so connected with outer space, with these islands, these are the locations where we were found. This is how beautiful, this is how it's supposed to be. Everything natural. Do you know what you are comprised of if you are from here, my brothers and sisters? You know how minerally rich you are? So when we leave early, we're feeding them. Let's go down the rabbit hole. Do you know how rich you are? You are 7 octillion atoms. I appear to be solid. Galileo said when he looked through the telescope, he realized that a star wasn't a star, but it was a cluster of many stars, but it just showed one entity, one glow. And that's what you see right here. That's what you see when you look in the mirror, one glow. Because we can't pixelate that. Your TV's 32 pixels, 100 megapixels. We're talking about 7 octillion atoms. That's 34 digits, 27 more digits beyond a million, 7 digits. That's incomprehensible. You couldn't fathom that. All because the brilliance and genius of God and how he puts it together. A star can burst, and from the dust, planets can form. Planets do form, and the rest of the debris settles, creating islands, and then life form spawns. As the good book said, from the dust, but they got you believing dust like under the carpet dust. We're talking about star dust, not regular dust, star dust. Do you know the power that a star has? Our earthly star has power. They're an influencer. Imagine a real star. That's why they mimic everything. There's nothing new under the sun, only in the universe. Because the sun is a small star. It's called the yellow dwarf star. The biggest universe is the index catalog, 1101. That makes our Milky Way look like a milk dud. All so that you can know, don't even begin to question God, because our finite mind can't travel that far. And you shouldn't want to. Just sit back, be humble, and respect what God does and what he has done and what he is going to do. Because his efforts are immeasurable. You're in the wrong state of mind if you think that you're from a state. Where you from, son? I'm from New York. I'm from Chicago. I'm from Michigan. I'm from all of these places. No, you're not. That's where you were dropped off for business, to do what you're doing now. Work. Be a part of the workforce. Hence, you're forced to work because you don't know where you're from. But you have this desire to go back to where you're from. You're like, I want to go on a vacation. They know you want to go on a vacation. They're charging you to go home. Imagine that. They're charging you to go home. Everybody want to go to the West Indies, the Caribbean. That's where you're from. The most beautiful places in this earth, in this world, is where you're from. And they brought you here and they charge you to go back. It's called a vacation. They had the eyes.